Hi everyone! I hope everyone's doing good. It's Friday morning and we're at the Morningstar Mill and we're just gonna go for a nice nature walk here today. It's a really nice place, especially in the fall. There's nice trails here. And you can see more of the fall colors are coming out. So it's very beautiful. And the mill here is where they produce flour. You can see on the sign, there's the sign on the building. Flour and feed, always on hand. Established 1872. There's some write-ups here. Let's go see what they are. Oh wow. You can see here how much ice built up in the winter. And it shows that they were harvesting ice in the mill pond in the 1890s. There's a picture of them. They've got their horses to help them pull it out. It says that they harvested the ice and it was cut and broken into blocks, packed in sawdust, and stored in an ice house for use in the summer months when it was difficult to keep food cool. Oh, that's so interesting. So there you go. That's kind of a neat piece of information. Well, it shows you inside of the mill. And hopefully we're going to see this nice waterfall. You can see there's old pictures from back in the day. Oh, it says farmers waiting for their apples to be pressed into cider, 1905. Oh, you can see all the interesting things that used to be here. Blacksmith and carpentry shop. That's a nice picture. So this is one of the grandsons, Wilson Morningstar's grandson, Donald Robson. So this is the mill here. When I was on my way here, I did a little drive. And just to show you the nice trees on the way here. And when I got here, I couldn't get my gimbal undone from the mount inside of my truck. So I was like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to do a video here. So I was kind of bummed out, but luckily there was some people here that were just coming out of the building, and I asked if any of them had tools, so luckily they had tools, and the man was really nice and he helped undo the gimbal for me. So now we're here. Isn't that nice? It's a really cool wheel there. And there's the old sawmill there. Wouldn't that be a nice painting? If someone painted that picture, I think that would be so nice. So when I was talking to the man after he nicely undid the gimbal for me, he asked me if I'd ever been inside of here, and I said no, I haven't. So we're lucky enough we're going to get to go and see inside. So it should be fun. Here's where the carpenter shop was. Wilson and Emma Morningstar's grandchildren, Donald and Lorna Robson, early 1930s. Look how nicely they're dressed. You can tell that they were a little well off. They had really nice clothing on and a nice car that they're standing beside. Oh, and there across there is where the blacksmith shop was. Let's go see that before we go into the building. The man's not outside right now anyways. It's a cool walkway. I enjoy seeing interesting historical buildings like this. Oh, and there's a nice sign up there they have. This is Morningstar. Some birdies were happily building a nest up there too. All right. Well, there's a little tour of that.
So, this building
Yeah.
is a replica built by volunteers between 1992 and 1995. The door is from 1893.
Wow.
And last summer, some dummy destroyed it.
Ah, that's too bad. But they wanted to get in and see what it's like in here,
Well,
right?
they probably thought
Wow.
something were stealing.
Oh, okay.
I'm not being weird, I'm just not allowed to have too many people at a time in here.
Okay, no
So
problem.
this building replaces this one.
Wow.
That was built in 1893 and removed in 1991, 92, 95.
Very
See that big
interesting.
pipe standing up down there? That's called a penstock.
Okay.
That's what was there in 91.
Oh,
No floor,
okay.
no wall.
Wow, this is so interesting. Very nice in here.
In fact, I see we're halfway closed up already.
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness.
Nicer when the water's in full flow.
Wow, it's so beautiful. No divers?
Apparently there was one found dead under there last September.
Oh my goodness. Oh geez.
Don't forget that falls
Oh,
over there.
so nice.
That one over there doesn't have a name. That's coming out of a tunnel from the water treatment plant.
Okay.
You got audio on there?
Yes, but I can always.
I just watched what I say there.
That's okay. Wow. Yeah, it's quite different when you get to see it up here. Oh my goodness.
Different perspective.
Beautiful.
Now, before I built this window about 4 years ago,
Yep.
you had to remove a dozen screws and 4 pieces of wood to get a window apart to clean it.
Okay.
So stand right over there,
Right here?
right there, and look
Okay.
back here.
Oh my goodness.
Down there is the turbine that runs our mill.
Wow.
I don't know if Hank told you, but up until October of 2019, we were running the mill 6 times a season, making flour once a month from May to October, using that turbine to run our grinding stone.
Wow. I had no idea.
Right now our water inlet is broken, so we can't run.
Okay. So what happened to repair that?
Well, they're supposed to be giving us a new water inlet and a new dam next year. And hopefully by May of 23, we'll be able to run again.
Nice. I like that big saw blade there.
Up until 2 years ago, that was on display inside the sawmill across the creek.
Oh yeah.
But we're not allowed to take people over there, so we brought it over here. That red building is our sawmill. The original was taken down in 1933. Volunteers said that was in place.
It looks so nice.
Last 30 was on ice. That's when they started getting the water down.
Okay.
This water is off control. It's only natural from the mill down.
So what about the wheel there? Would that
That's
be
just to
turning?
show.
Oh, okay.
The first one went in, as you can see, in the concrete in 1995.
Yep.
Just because people kept saying, "Where's your wheel? Where's your wheel?" So they built one. This mill always ran on
Just
a
to
turbine.
make people quiet, right?
Yep. The mill always ran on a turbine.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. That's Wilson Morningstar. That's the original sawmill that was taken down in 33.
It's amazing how, they came up with that. And then this is still here and running and...
Well, not still, again.
Wow. Okay.
Thousands and thousands of hours of volunteer labor to rebuild this thing.
Pieces of...
Inside of that turf pool.
Sorry, I was just looking at the rocks. Okay.
Inside of that turbine down there,
Yep.
it's a 15-inch wheel like this called the runner, inside of a set of vanes like this one. So you have one of these, inside one of those, inside of there.
Wow.
When we open up the water inlet, it fills that vertical penstock to about that cement collar. That puts 35 feet or 11 meters of water pressure on the turbine. That forces 2,000 imperial gallons or about 9,000 liters per minute through the turbine to turn this drive shaft at about 300 RPM.
Okay.
By the time that transmits through the gears, pulleys, and shafts, our grinding stone turns at about 100 RPM.
So interesting. I love this. It's amazing. So did you ever have to go down there?
We used to go down there to do whatever needed doing. We're not allowed to unlock this hatch anymore.
Oh, okay.
Under provincial law, you have to be licensed and so on to work at heights.
Okay.
And that's more than 10 feet.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh. All right. Thank you so much for the tour. It's my lucky day.
If you'd like, you can come and see the mill, how we make the flour.
Sure.
So our grinding stones are made from pieces of French burr stone.
Okay.
Came from France as ballast in the old sailing ships. Harder than any stone found in North America, so they hold their chiseled edges longer than any local stone will. Cemented together in pieces and banded in iron, each of these two stones weighs 1,500 pounds or 680 kilos. Right now they're apart for cleaning. When we're going to run, we'll clean this top stone, lift it up with the hoist, swing it out of the way so we can clean the bottom stone, flip this one over, it's upside down right now, swing it back in, and sit it on top of this drive shaft coming up through the bottom stone.
Okay.
There it is going in, and there it is in place.
Oh, wow.
Once it's in place, that space is about the size of a grain of wheat.
Okay.
Once it's in place, that drum over at the wall goes over top like so, and this hopper goes on top of the drum.
Yeah.
A chute comes down from the chute up there at the ceiling down to the hopper. When the grain comes off the field, it's full of things you wouldn't want in your bread, like straw, bugs, dirt. We don't get our grain like that. We get ours already clean, ready for grinding. So we just carry it up the stairs in 50-pound bags and put it in the bin.
Okay.
If we did get it in need of cleaning, you drop it in that bin at the wall beside the drum, Gravity takes to a machine downstairs. It separates the wheat from the chaff and cleans the grains of wheat of any dirt. At that point, the grain cleaned ready for grinding is called grist. That's why it's called a grist mill. The grist takes an elevator from the basement to the upstairs. These hollow columns are in pairs. This belt full of buckets goes up one, down the other, and takes the grist upstairs.
So you were asking about the truck? Or that was it?
Once it's up there, we start the top stone turning, open up the chute. The grist goes into the hopper, goes in between the stones. It's ground into a mixture of flour and bran. That follows the grooves in the stone to the edge. The drum holds it in. The rotation of the stone drags it around to this hole, and it goes down a chute. In the old days, it would go up an elevator to a separator upstairs, which would separate the flour and the bran.
Wow.
But we don't use the old separator because it's too open and puts too much dust in the air. Flour dust burns and explodes. So we have a homemade machine downstairs. It runs electrically, smaller, more confined, keeps more of the dust in. But we do use that water turbine to run the grinding just like back in the old days.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a lot of complex work to get
Well,
that.
very simple and complicated at the same time.
Yeah.
You dump it in there and wait for the flour to come out one of the chutes.
Okay.
But if anything goes wrong in between, you run around.
Yeah.
And these three machines are steel roller mills. Following the fire of 1892, Wilson Morningstar, putting his mill together, put these modern machines in, and they make white flour with most of the nutritious part of the grain removed.
Sounds good.
Now it's lunchtime.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Wow. I came here just to go for a nature walk because I had been here before at the Morningstar Mill. That's where we are. And I was really lucky today to run into that nice man. And he volunteers here, and he let me come see inside of those buildings that you saw. And they still, as you heard, produce flour here. So it was really, really interesting. So I'm so happy that I got to go see that. So there's just another view of the nice falls. These are people that used to live here. I think they run the mill at the time, many, many years ago. And that's their house. It used to be their house. So this place is located in DeQ Falls, which is just sort of on the outskirts of St. Catharines. And it's a nice place just to come for a nature hike. There's trails here. But the gentleman that I was talking to that work here say you shouldn't really be going down there anymore. And people still do, but it's pretty dangerous. So we'll just take a nice walk here. Just enjoy the view.